Are you feeling overwhelmed, like the weight of life is just too heavy to carry? Before you give up, pause, take a deep breath, and remember who your Lord is. In moments of darkness, it's easy to forget the light that created us. Life can bruise your soul, but your Lord has never abandoned you. This is not the end. In this video, we'll remind your heart of the one who holds it, the one who sees your struggle, God the most merciful, the all-powerful. Number 1, God knows your pain. There are moments in life when pain becomes so intense, it silences your voice. You try to explain it to others, but they don't understand. You cry quietly at night, and no one notices. You're surrounded by people, yet you feel alone. But here's the truth that can change your entire perspective. God knows your pain. Your tears are not hidden. Your heartaches are not ignored. God sees what no one else can see, what's buried in your soul. He is closer to you than anyone could ever be. God says in Quran, Surah At-Tahbah, verse 51, say, nothing will ever happen to us except what God has decreed for us. He is our protector. And in God let the believers put their trust. Everything that happens to you, every heartbreak, every setback, every delay, has been written with divine knowledge and mercy. When you're hurting, it's not a sign that God has abandoned you. Rather, it's often a sign that He's shaping you. Like fire refines gold, pain refines the soul. You may not see it now, but He is preparing you for something greater. There is no sorrow you feel except that God is aware of it. In Quran, Surah Al-Mujadila, verse 7, God reminds us, there is no private conversation among 3, but He is the 4th of them, nor among 5, but He is the 6th, nor fewer, nor more, but that He is with them wherever they are. This means your loneliness is never truly alone. He is with you. Sometimes the pain is a call to return, to surrender, to reconnect with the one who created your heart. And even when your heart is shattered, God is the best healer. His names are not random. He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, Al-Latif, the subtly kind, Al-Hakim, the all-wise. Your Lord doesn't just know your pain, He understands it. He allowed it with purpose, and He promises that with every difficulty there is relief. Never forget prophets. God's most beloved servants felt pain too. Prophet Yaqub cried for years over the loss of his son, and God honored his grief. Prophet Muhammad buried 6 of his 7 children, yet God comforted him and strengthened him through revelation. So if you're in pain today, know this, your feelings are valid, but don't let pain blind you to God's nearness. Instead, let it push you closer. Talk to Him, even if all you can say is, help me. Your cries are heard, your heart is known, and your Lord is near. Number 2, you are stronger than you think. There's a moment in struggle when you start to believe the lie, I can't do this. The pain feels endless, the challenge too big, the path too steep. You feel weak, small and incapable. But listen carefully, you are stronger than you think. Why? Because God is the one who made you, and He knows what you're capable of. God says in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286, God does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. That means if you're facing it, you're strong enough to overcome it. Your Creator would never place a mountain in your path if He hadn't already given you the strength to climb it. You may not see your strength right now because you're looking at the storm, but God sees what you can handle. You may feel like breaking, but He knows you will rise. You may feel exhausted, but He knows the depth of endurance He placed in your soul. This verse is not just a comfort, it's a declaration, a divine truth. It tells you, you are capable, you are resilient, you have within you what it takes, not because of your own power, but because of the strength God infused into your being. Remember Prophet Musa, standing before the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army behind him. The people said, we are surely overtaken, but Musa replied with faith, no, indeed my Lord is with me, He will guide me. And what happened next? God split the sea. The impossible became possible. Why? Because when you trust God, you tap into strength you didn't know you had. You are not defined by your weakness. You are defined by your endurance, your courage, your faith. Even if you're crawling through the pain, you're still moving, and that is strength. God does not measure you by results. He measures you by effort, just showing up every day, not giving up, whispering Ya Rab when everything hurts. That is strength. That is what He loves. So next time you think, I can't handle this, remember what God says. Yes, you can. You have the capacity. The storm won't last, but your strength will. Keep going. Your Lord believes in you, and He never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. Let me know when you're ready for the expansion of points 3 to 6. You said expand point no 3 and 4 words should be 500 in each point. ChatGPT said, certainly. Here's the expansion of point 3 and point 4, each with approximately 500 words, continuing the motivational Islamic tone and quoting only from the Quran as instructed. Number 3. Every hardship has a promise. In the middle of pain, loss, or failure, it's easy to fall into despair. You might wonder, why me? Why now? When will this end? But God gives you a promise in the Quran, one that speaks directly to your heart when you feel like breaking. God says in Quran, Surah Ash-Shar verses 5-3, for indeed with hardship comes ease. Indeed with hardship comes ease. Notice something powerful here. God repeats the promise, not once but twice. That's not a coincidence. That's a divine reminder that no matter how heavy the trial, ease is not far away. In fact, the Arabic structure of this verse shows that the ease is with the hardship, not after it, meaning it's already present. You just might not see it yet. The hardship is part of the journey, but it's not the whole story. Alongside it, God has placed hidden blessings, strength you didn't know you had, support from unexpected places, or doors opening when you thought all were closed. God is not punishing you. He is elevating you. He is drawing you closer to Him, purifying your heart, and teaching you to rely on Him alone. Sometimes He breaks your heart only to rebuild it stronger. Sometimes He delays the solution so that you turn to Him more sincerely. And when you do, you realize the greatest ease is in knowing Him. Think of Prophet Yusuf, thrown into a well, sold into slavery, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, but all the while, God was preparing him for leadership, for wisdom, for greatness. That long hardship had ease hidden inside it. His heart was purified, his trust in God deepened, and eventually he became a ruler in Egypt. God doesn't test you to destroy you, He tests you to strengthen you. In Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah verse 155, God says, and we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger, and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient. Good tidings, imagine that. God tells you that even when you suffer loss, patience brings glad news, and what is the reward of those who endure? Peace in this life, and paradise in the next. So when you face hardship, don't say, why me? Say, what is God teaching me? Don't give up. Look deeper. The ease is already written. You just need to walk with faith until it appears. Hold on to this promise. Indeed, with hardship comes ease, and your ease is coming by the will of God. Number 4. God responds to the brokenhearted. There's a pain that words can't explain, a cry that doesn't escape your lips but echoes deep in your soul. Maybe you've been praying for something for so long and nothing seems to change. Maybe life has left you broken, disappointed, betrayed, or alone. But here's the truth. God responds to the brokenhearted. He doesn't ignore your prayers. He doesn't turn away from your tears. Even if you haven't seen the answer yet, He's already heard every whisper of your heart. God says in Quran, Surah Ghafir verse 60, call upon me, I will respond to you. This is not a suggestion, it's a promise. A direct guarantee from the one who created you. When you cry to Him, when you call His name sincerely, He will respond. The delay is not a denial. Sometimes the response is instant. Other times God delays because He wants to give you something better, or protect you from what you cannot see, or raise your rank through patience. But His response always comes, exactly at the right time. Think of Prophet Zachariah. He prayed for a child for many years. Old age came, his hair turned white, but he didn't give up, and then God gave him a son, Yahya, against all odds. In Quran Surah Maryam verse 4, Zachariah says, my Lord, indeed my bones have weakened, and my head has filled with white, and never have I been in my supplication to you, my Lord, unhappy. He kept calling, he never lost hope, and God responded in the most beautiful way. You might think, but I'm not a prophet. True, but the door of God's mercy is not closed to anyone. He is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful. He is As-Sami, the all-hearing. Even if your dua is simple, just one word, He hears. Even if your heart is too broken to speak, your silence is a form of prayer, and He understands it. God says in Quran Surah Al-Baqarah verse 86, and when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me. Did you hear that? Indeed I am near. He didn't say tell them I am near. He spoke directly, without any barrier, to emphasize His closeness. So don't give up. Keep calling Him, even when it feels like no one is listening. Keep asking, even when the answer seems far. God is not ignoring you. He is preparing the perfect response. Your pain is real, but so is His mercy. Your tears are seen, your voice is heard, and your prayer, no matter how small, is never wasted. When your heart is broken, turn to the one who mends hearts like no one else can. Let me know when you'd like the expansions for point 5 and point 6. You said expand point no 5 and 6 words should be 500 in each point. ChatGPT said, certainly, here is the expanded version of point 5 and point 6, each around 500 words, written in the same uplifting Islamic motivational tone, with references only from the Quran as requested. Number 5. This world is not the end. One of the biggest traps of despair is forgetting that this life is temporary. We get so caught up in the struggles, losses, and disappointments of this world that we begin to feel as if they are permanent, but they're not. The pain you're feeling right now, the hardship you're facing, it's not the end of your story, because this world is not the final chapter. God reminds us in Quran, Surah Al-Ankabut, verse 64, this worldly life is no more than play and amusement. Surely the home of the hereafter is the real life, if only they knew. Read that again, the real life. What we are living right now is a test. It is not the full reality. Your soul was created for more than bills, deadlines, pain, and pressure. You were created for eternity. You were created for Jannah, where there is no sorrow, no fear, no pain. This life is just a blink of an eye compared to what awaits you. Yes, the struggle is real, but so is the reward. Every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every tear shed in patience is being recorded. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Your hardship is not for nothing. God says in Quran, Surah Al-Imran, verse 85, every soul will taste death, and you will only be given your full compensation on the day of resurrection. So he who is drawn away from the fire and admitted to paradise has attained success. And what is the life of this world except the enjoyment of delusion? Success is not about having an easy life here. Real success is meeting God with a pure heart, having remained steadfast in the storm. The world tells you to seek comfort, wealth, and approval, but God calls you to seek Him, because He knows that nothing in this life can satisfy your soul like He can. Even the prophets, the best of humanity, suffered in this life. Prophet Muhammad buried his children, faced starvation, was mocked and rejected, but he knew this life wasn't the end. He lived with the hereafter in his heart, and so must we. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself, this is temporary, the pain will pass, the test will end, and what God has prepared for the patient is far beyond what you can imagine. God says in Quran, Surah As-Sajdah, verse 17, no soul knows what delights of the eye are kept hidden for them as a reward for what they used to do. So don't be fooled by the illusion. This world is a journey, not the destination. Keep going, keep striving, because your forever doesn't begin here. It begins after this test. And with God, the best is always yet to come. Number 6, God is always near. When life becomes overwhelming, when you feel like no one understands you, and when even your closest friends don't seem to notice your pain, there's one truth that can carry you through. God is always near. You may feel distant from everyone. You may feel forgotten, abandoned, or invisible. But to your Creator, you are seen, heard, and loved. He is not far away. In fact, He is closer to you than your own heartbeat. God says in Quran, Surah Kaf, verse 16, and we have already created man and know what his soul whispers to him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. Think about that for a moment. Your jugular vein is one of the closest parts of your body, essential for your very survival, and God says He is closer than that. That means your thoughts, your doubts, your pain, your silent prayers, they're all known to Him. You are never alone. Sometimes you may wonder, why isn't He helping me? But the help of God is not always in removing the storm. It's often in strengthening you to walk through it. His nearness is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's in the quiet strength that keeps you going when you feel like collapsing. It's in the calm that suddenly settles your heart in sujood. It's in the friend who checks in, or the verse you randomly read that speaks directly to your soul. God says in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 186, and when my servants ask you concerning me, indeed I am near. I respond to the invocation of the supplicant when he calls upon me. God doesn't leave you when you are struggling. In fact, that's often when He is closest. Your brokenness draws His mercy, your helplessness calls His help, and your dua, even if whispered with trembling lips, is enough to move the heavens. You don't need perfect words to reach Him. You just need a sincere heart. Cry if you need to. Complain only to Him. Pour it all out, and trust that He is listening. Even when everyone walks away, God stays. When the world makes you feel small, God reminds you of your worth. When you feel unworthy, God still welcomes you back, because His door is never closed and His mercy is never ending. So next time you feel alone in your struggle, remember, you're not alone. The one who created you, who sustains you, who knows your past and your future, He is near. Hold on to that closeness, embrace it, because when God is with you, there is no reason to fear and no reason to give up.